Welcome everyone to the ASVP experience. I'm your host ASVP and we have the Raw review. And what bombshells did we witness? Starting off the show, we have Becky Lynch coming out and she's sobbing and crying and she has the briefcase which Asuka won, at Money in the Bank the night before. And starting this promo, you're thinking to yourself what the hell, why is she crying, what's happening, is she gonna, say something, mean after, and then Asuka comes out after, and Asuka goes, that's mine, this, that, and Becky goes, just hold on one sec, she goes, open the briefcase, and she opens the briefcase, and inside there's, the, championship belt, the women's championship belt, and Becky goes, you can take it. She goes, it's yours now. She goes, because the person that won, Money in the Bank wins the title. And it's making zero sense. Until the end, she goes, that champion should mean, a lot to you. But she goes, however, being a mother means more for me. And Becky just, gives a bombshell and, she just says, she's a mum and she's, a couple of weeks pregnant. Asuka goes, what? Really? It's like she didn't know. How she reacted is what? Really? What the hell? Then she goes, go Becky, and how she was dancing. She was dancing around the ring. And yeah, crazy way to actually, end something like that and all that. Pretty cool to see, Becky's becoming a mum. We'll see how it plays in with Seth, throughout the night as well. So that happened, and then after that we had Bobby Lashley coming out to take on Carrillo in a no DQ match, because what happened to their match, last Raw, where Bobby got disqualified himself, and I really enjoyed the fact that WWE actually continued a storyline where it just wasn't just one thing and then that's it, and props to them, because they've been doing that on SmackDown for recent weeks, but not much on Raw. But now, it's starting to pick up. And honestly, they don't need to produce content where it's, 5-star matches every week. Because, that's what pay-per-views are. Pay-per-views are supposed to be the 5-star matches where it's just pure wrestling, just the, where they settle all the things, The, Raw SmackDown, that's, to build it up. And some things they do build up correctly, some things they don't. Recently, I feel like the women's stuff is probably more built up better than the men's stuff. However, with their limited roster and all that now because of what's happening around the world, they have been linking up storylines more clearly. That's one thing that's been good. It's more clear of what's happening. And there's not a lot of things are getting rushed now, which is pretty cool to see. And it's exactly like this match. But, Bobby gets the win. He looks great. After that, we had Angel Garza taking on Akira Tozawa. Angel wins. And then after, something builds up between Angel and Austin Theory. They have a little exchange. Then Drew comes out. Drew, he claymores Austin Theory. And Angel and Andrade start laughing. Then Angel gets claymored. Then, Drew challenges Andrade to a match after that. Then we see, Drew taking on Andrade. Drew gets the win. Then Drew says, he actually cuts a pretty cool promo as well. And you can see he's actually having fun with her. And, it's not like a burden to him. He's actually, he's joking around all that. Especially when he was saying, about his claymores and about how he's a sexy Glasgow warrior and stuff, all that type of stuff. It was pretty cool to see. Then he challenges King Corbin for next week. I like that. It was pretty cool. That was actually pretty cool. I like that they're still using the stable of Angel Garza, Austin, Selena and Andrade. However, I think they're going to be breaking up soon, and I reckon they're going to be pushing, Andrade, Selena by themselves, and Austin and Angel is going to go, have a little feud with each other. We'll see how that goes. Pretty cool. After that, we have the Moment of Bliss, and the Iconics return. And dude, I did miss the Iconics. Not gonna lie, I do like him, but when they yell, I don't miss that. It's shocking to hear, especially if you have the volume just a little bit, tad higher. It's shocking to hear. However, Nikki Cross, Alexa, they have a match with them after, and Iconics get the win. Correct booking there. Hopefully they be pushing, the Iconics more of the championship belts, the women's, because nothing's really happening with those titles. So it's pretty cool to see. Then we had R-Truth, Cedric Alexander, and Ricochet taking on the team of MVP, Thorne, and Vic. And R-Truth, he brings back Pretty Ricky. It's pretty funny to see him play with the character and all that. Just something that R-Truth can only get over. Hope to see that in a few coming weeks, but actually, R-Truth hits a lie detector on MVP and he gets the win for his team. Then after that, Bobby comes out, absolutely mauls, R-Truth, with a spear and everything. MVP tells him, let's go back with each other in the back, to talk about stuff, and they go. So it looks like, MVP is going to be helping, Bobby, which is cool to see as well. Then we had Shayna's promo on Becky's child, and that was hilarious. I genuinely laughed, so much at it. Like that's the correct way of, putting humor in a person who's very, mean and sadistic, and all they want to do is just hurt people and just win the title. And that's how they used to do with, The Rock, Stone Cold, all those, WWF superstars back then. They used to do stuff like that. Kane, Undertaker, not so much Undertaker, but yeah. And it was pretty cool to see, especially Shayna just taking the piss out of Becky's child. Unbelievable. Then we have Seth and Buddy taking on Black and Ray. And Seth looked really beaten up from yesterday's match, and he looked out of it. Buddy tried to tag in a few times, he didn't want to tag in. However, Ray was going to hit the 619 on Buddy, and then bang, Seth grabs him, pulls him out, and he just starts going crazy, starts bashing him up, beating him up. Then he gets the steel steps. I've never seen this before, and he puts Rey Mysterio's eye, onto it and squashes it and all that, and you can see blood coming out of it. I really like that. It made him look real sadistic, which is pretty cool to see, this new Seth's new character and all that. And I'm enjoying Seth's new character. He's not whiny, he's not this, he's not that, he's just a pure heel. Thinks he's God. Unbelievable, to be honest. I really enjoy it, especially with him teaming up with Buddy. Then we had the basketball match against the Street Profits taking on Viking Raiders. And I didn't like it. I didn't like the first part of it when they showed, Street Profits win by 70 to 2 points or something. I really didn't enjoy it. I don't enjoy Viking Raiders being put in like this, all these, funny segments and that stuff. This is where WWE gets it wrong. Viking Raiders should be exactly like how Shayna is. Make a joke here or there, but it's a joke where, they're literally, putting someone down or something like that, and it rarely happens. And also, they should just look mean. However, after that, Natalya, challenges Shayna for a match after. And then we had another segment of the basketball match. And that part I did like. However, like I'm saying before, I just don't like Viking Raiders being pushed, to this level of humor and all that. They deserve to just have the title and just raid havoc like they've done in Ring of Honor, like they've done in previous other promotions. If you watch their stuff, the last year of them in Ring of Honor, they versed, the Hardy Boys, the Elite, the Briscoe brothers. Just if you haven't seen their matches, just go on YouTube, search it up, Ring of Honor, Viking, Raiders and all that, and you'll just see how crazy they are and just how good they are. You can even see when they were in NXT, just how great their matches are and how violent and all that it is. And I want that Viking Raiders to come back, not this type of Viking Raiders. Then we had the Shayna and Natalya match. Quick match. Shayna puts her to sleep. Natalya gets absolutely vivid. I liked it. I like seeing, Shayna being positioned like this. I like, Natalya helping, the athletes and all like that. She's still a pretty good worker and all that, so it's pretty cool to see. Then we had, Baron saying, he can't wait to, take on Drew next week and all that. Da. Then we had our main event, which was actually not a match, thank God. It was a like a segment, and it was Randy and Edge. You just see these guys talk on the mic. You just see how they work each other. And you know what? These people really don't need a crowd, because when you see them talking and exchanging, verbal abuse and all that, you just, you actually stop remembering there's no crowd there, and you just focus on them. And it's, you can just see, that's why, they're one of the best in the businesses. That's why they've been there for 15 plus years. Together they have 30 plus years, of wrestling with each other. And, it was good to see. I loved how they, used a WrestleMania, and how it was a, street fight, last man standing, blah, da. And, Randy coming to the end, and he's like, you know what? He goes, you could beat me like that, but you're scared to wrestle me. You're scared to actually have a wrestling match with me because you know you can't do it. And then he challenges him at Backlash. Loved it. Like, there's nothing to say. It was absolutely great, Like, that just reminds me of, the old, like, early 2000s, type of wrestling, where it's not just Edge and Randy Orton. You have 10 to 15, wrestlers, professional wrestlers who are like this. It was great to see. It was just, it's something, the young ones need to work with and all that. How to cut promos and all that. So you're really intrigued to see like what happens with that. But yes, the main focus on this Raw was Becky is pregnant. Thank you for listening, guys. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I am ASVP. This is the ASVP experience. Take care.